Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another episode of my Twin Flame story week by week. This is my Twin Flame vlog. It is episode 26 and we're here just to have a little bit of a discussion today. So you are free to join me. I'm here with my Grogu tumbler with some green tea, some antioxidant green tea. I've got my baby Jedi behind me. And if you're new to my channel, do subscribe below. Make sure to click on the bell. Scroll up to all for all notifications. Give the video a thumbs up. Interaction with my video or any video helps YouTube to know that we are here in the big pile of videos that are uploaded at every second on YouTube. So, it helps to stand out a little bit. So as you can see, I don't know, I'm obsessing about this weird t-shirt sewing issue. So it puckers right here. It's very odd. I haven't seen this. This is a bunch of new t-shirts I got from Guess, and they're all do this. I'm kind of disappointed with the way they're doing seams. I don't know. Maybe they didn't pay their seamstresses and seamsters, I guess. I don't know how you would say that in the male version. But those who are sewing the shirts, I guess they're not paying them enough. This is a very weird flaw. Anyway, I diverge. So how are you doing, Twin Flame? For me, on my journey, I am doing fabulously. I finally got the book cover complete with a designer, not myself, for my upcoming book, Twin Flame Union, 7 Keys to a Healthy Twin Flame Journey, which will be released very soon. And as early as next week, you will be able to order an author signed copy. I'm only doing it once. Okay, let me say that all over again. I am only doing the author signed copy sends one time. Just one time. So as I'm pre-selling them in this time period, you can order your author signed copy, 1, 2, 3 copies for friends, for your twin flame, for yourself. But I'm only doing it one time. It's a lot of work to individually package and send off books. Normally Amazon takes care of fulfillment, but then you won't get a signed copy. So we're gonna do this once. I'll pre-sell for about 10 days and order the books. Then you should get them shipped to you by the end of August. It takes at least 2 weeks for them to be sent to me. Then I gotta sign the books, address them, stamp them, and send them, And I'm only doing this for the United States. We tried to calculate this during COVID for Canada, Mexico, around the world. And for you guys, it's really cost prohibitive. So, if you're dead set on a signed copy and you live somewhere around the world other than the US, and you're willing to pay $20 to $30, probably $25 to $30 to have it sent to you, then just please let me know that and I will do it for you. I absolutely positively will do it for you. But for some people, that's just too pricey. You can order it off Amazon and you don't have to pay for that. But if you do want an author signed copy and you do live in the US, it's going to be more cost effective for you, obviously. So that's what's going on there with my new book. I'm just really happy for it to come out. It will be also released on Audible, and that will likely be toward the end of August. And the way Audible works is that you can't submit your audio files until it is live on Amazon via Kindle or paperback. So since it's not yet live, and once it is live, then Audible takes 3 to 4 weeks to go through those audio files. And I'm sure publishers have a little leg up. Maybe real publishers can actually do this ahead of time. Unfortunately for self-published people, which I do have some books published with my publisher, but I just found it's more profitable for me to self-publish. So that is why the Audible version will be live, but it'll probably be a 3 to 4 week delay before that is live up on Amazon's website or the Audible website. So never fear if you're one of those people who likes to listen to audiobooks. I promise you Twin Flame Union will be available on audio. I've already recorded all the audio, so there's no need to worry about that. It's just a question of getting it up there and having Audible, which is called ACX on the back end, go through those files. So there you go. You got the news. You got the absolute news. All right, number 2 channel news. Number 2 channel news. I asked a survey question about astrology readings because if you did notice, for the month of Cancer, or the birthdays in Cancer season, I did do an astrology reading for 2022 to 2023 for Cancer for the birthday. And on Friday, I'm posting Leo for Leo birthdays. And I'm going to be doing that every single month for the birthday astrology readings. Now, next week, I'm going to start posting monthly tarot horoscopes for each of the 12 signs. And I did a survey, which I polled you guys, and I said, hey, do you want like love, romance, general, twin flame, astrology readings? And most of you opted for twin flame. What I personally am going to do is I'm going to combine love, romance, twin flame, soulmates into one video for all 12 signs, meaning each sign will get their video, but I'm going to combine the whole love relationship in that video. Now, here's why. The reason is because, and this is going to be our topic for today, so sneak peek into our topic. Many of you on the twin flame journey have come to the juncture point at which you're not with your twin flame and you've opted to date other people. You've opted for a soulmate relationship. You've opted for a dating relationship scenario because you've done your personal work and you feel that you're ready to go out there and date. So I do feel that it's too narrow if I pigeonhole the monthly astrology videos toward only twin flames, when so many of you who are also on the twin flame journey are in other relationships or in other dating situations. So I do want to include your entire love life so that if you are a Leo, Gemini, Sagittarius, Aries, whatever, or your counterpart, whoever you're dating or your twin flame is a different sign, for example, then you can look at the love reading as a global whole for each of you. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing there, and those will be posted next week. I am posting this video on July 20th, 2022. So look out for these videos starting next week for the month of August. Those will be the astrology horoscope videos for the month of August, and we'll be doing that every single month from that point forward. Okay, channel news all done. So my personal twin flame journey, I am still learning and growing as all of you are. I recently went over an audio recording of a reading I had gotten back in 2019. And really more than a reading, it was a coaching session from a very great person who was doing amazing coaching. I only had one session with her, and she's no longer active, neither on YouTube nor is she coaching. I'm not really sure what happened to her. I'm not really sure where she's at, but she's a really, really good coach. And something just told me to go ahead and listen to that. And I listened to it one other time, maybe around 2020, if I'm not mistaken. It was in my files. I just found it and I decided to go ahead and listen to it again. And it was super fascinating to listen to it 3 years later with fresh eyes, or fresh ears, I should say, because I wasn't seeing it. I was listening to it. So it was really interesting for me to listen to it with fresh ears, or 3 years into this, and hear things from a totally different perspective. For me, that was super fascinating, and I will share more, but I'm currently going over something called the law of conditionality, and it's just a fascinating view that I heard when she spoke this to me, but I don't think I had fully grasped the meaning of it at that particular moment. So I'm going over some not new concepts, but old concepts in a new light. And I am really excited to be able to share that with you at some point in the future. I'm still going through the concept and like checking in with myself to see if I've mastered such concept. And if I have not yet mastered the concept, then I'm going to take some time to master the concept, and then I can teach it to you guys. So for that, I'm like really excited to be doing. So let's go ahead and forward to our topic for this Twin Flame vlog. And I'm going to take a sip of my green tea antioxidant green tea. That's really good. That's the green. I forgot how good the green tea is. Dating. I know I've mentioned this before on my channel. I'm going to put a video here, a link to a video that I did on dating more recently, probably in the last 8 months or so. So this is a highly controversial topic among the twin flame community, I should say. There are many camps and opinions about dating. And I'm going to read you a little passage I found. And this is, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. I believe he's Vietnamese. I do not speak Vietnamese. It's like Thich Nhat Hanh, I guess. That is the book, How to Love. He's a monk. That's all you need to know. A Buddhist monk. And I felt inspired to open this book this morning before recording this video. And I just kind of asked Spirit just to guide me to something that I could share with you in this video. And I feel it's really super pertinent to this topic of dating, because I know it's on a lot of your minds in the twin flame community. And I know there are very opposite opinions about this. There are some on one end of the spectrum that say you should never date anybody. This is a divine connection with your twin flame. You should only be with your twin flame. And then we have the opposite end of the spectrum that is saying, oh, screw this twin flame connection. I just want to date anybody I can. So there's some middle ground here. There are some gray areas here about dating. But first, let me read to you this little passage. Opening the door. Once you know how to come home to yourself, then you can open your home to other people because you have something to offer. The other person has to do exactly the same thing if they are to have something to offer you. Otherwise, they will have nothing to share but their loneliness, sickness, and suffering. This can't help heal you at all. The other person has to heal themselves and get warm inside so that they will feel better, at ease, and can share their home with you. And I absolutely found that passage to be 100% perfect for the twin flame journey and for dating. Now, if you did not get that, if you did not let it sink into your noggin, rewind, go back and listen to that again. Because that is what the process of dating is all about. It is about exactly what this book, in this passage, in this book, was stating. Once you know how to come home to yourself, then you can open your home to other people. Now, of course, we're talking about the self, we're talking about the body, we're talking about the mind, soul, intellect, spirit, self. And the reason why twin flames feel that they cannot date is because they cannot open up their home, so to speak, to others because they do not have something to offer. Because if there is a pain point that says only my twin flame can come into my home, and I'm somehow waiting to feel whole and complete to let my twin flame come into my home, then I'm going to keep everyone else out until my twin flame can come into my home. But in a way, this does create some blockages. Because if you have really healed yourself and you have felt complete and whole in yourself each and every day, not just for a moment, this is like you feel that, then you have a well filled with love, companionship, empathy, compassion to offer to another. And if you still have pain, then the only thing you can offer is pain. So when you have reached the point in your twin flame journey where you are just welling up with love and happiness and bliss, and you have so much to offer, so much to give, in order to keep the law of giving and receiving circulating in your life, it has to flow somewhere. Now, certainly, this could flow with friendships, family relationships, your children, but if there has been this craving to have that romance, that sexual interaction, that intimacy interaction with another person, then by you pulling back the reins and holding it back and not letting it flow for fear that you're going to somehow mess up your twin flame journey, what that is doing is that's creating a lot of blockage energy, even as it comes toward your twin flame. And it also creates a lot of pressure toward your divine connection with your twin flame. Now, inversely, if you've been craving that love and connection and you're like, well, my twin flame does not appear to be ready. In other words, they are still taking care of their own house, their own home, and their own pain, and learning how to fill it up with love so that they only have love to give, then waiting for them or accepting them when they have less than that love to give is still putting up blockages and not allowing the energy to flow. Because the second part of this passage says, the other person has to do exactly the same thing if they are to have something to offer you. Otherwise, they will have nothing to share but their loneliness, sickness, and suffering. This can't help heal you at all. So if you are in that space where you're like, I have done all of my healing, but I see that my twin flame has not done all of their healing, then the question comes, can I open myself up to dating, romance, and love so that I can continue this flow of giving and receiving? Because in a way, when you block the flow, you're also creating a lack of self-love. Now, certainly there are times when we don't need to date, right? And there are times when we really need to focus on ourselves. There are other areas in our lives that we do need to focus on. There are other opportunities. Maybe it's money, a job, finances, debt, home renovations, other people in our lives. But when it comes to the point where you're continually thinking about having love in your life in a romantic sense, when you're continually thinking about having a connection in a romantic sense in your life, then that means that you've started to build up some sort of resistance. It's almost like a dam holding water back, right? You're starting to create that resistance. And it's that resistance that's not healthy. That is the resistance that's not healthy. And then it's time to mindfully and consciously think about dating other people. And let me just say this, because the twin flame connection is primarily a spiritual connection, it's not going to ruin anything if you happen to want to entertain the idea or go into a dating situation to allow this give and take, to allow this flow of energy exchange between you and another person. Because the connection with your twin flame exists on a whole other plane. It's not that it exists only in this space of duality. And so when you think about it from that standpoint, you're better able to process the fact that in order to love myself to the fullest, I need to consider that if I feel healed on every level, if I feel that I've worked through my insecurities, I've worked through my wounds, I've worked through my pain, and that I've come to the place of being able to give love and overflow with love and being able to share that with another person on an intimate level or romantic level, however you want to name it, I couldn't harm the connection because I'm letting love flow through me and I'm allowing love to come back to me. And if anything, it will help your connection rather than hinder the connection. No, that doesn't mean to be irresponsible. Like, this is not a call to be irresponsible. It's not a call to do this out of fear, to date out of fear, like fear of loneliness, fear of abandonment, fear of whatever, loss of connection, whatever those fears are. It doesn't mean you do this through fear. And it doesn't mean that you do it through vengeance or spite to get back at your twin flame or try to manipulate or control them. It's not the reason why you would do that. So it's like, I feel really strongly that being mindful is the best way to do this. Be mindful, be conscious, be consciously aware as you are moving forward in your love journey, as you're moving forward in order to have a connection with another human being on an intimate level through mindfulness. So you're not doing this to fill a void. You're not doing this to try to get anything, get a leg up on other people. It's just so you can allow that flow of giving and receiving to continue to flow and not have that buildup, that dam buildup of I've got so much love to give. I've got so much overflowing because I've been giving back to myself. I've been loving on myself and giving back to myself. And now I have all this love to give and I would like to receive it in equal measure from somebody who can offer me that love, from somebody who can give me that love. And then just allowing that to flow. And this topic can go on because I know there are a lot more questions that come about from the topic of dating, from the topic of, can I be with someone who's not my twin flame in this lifetime? And my answer to you is that if your twin flame is not here with you right now in the physical 3D world, making a commitment to a working relationship with you from a good place, not from a codependent place, not from a conditional place, but from a really pure place, if that's not happening right now, then for all intents and purposes, you are a single person. If you are single, right? We're not talking about if you're married or already in another committed relationship, but if you are single, then you're single. And who knows what tomorrow may hold. But for today, you're single. So you act like a person who's single. Because remember, it's not about this being your destiny, which for most of you, it will be. It's about living authentically with who you are now. And yeah, your twin flame is always with you and will always be with you on the spiritual level. I mean, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's not going to change anytime soon. They're always with you. But you're making the decision to continue the flow of your life, to continue the flow of the law of giving and receiving. and continuing to flow forward. And I'll tell you one story, because you know me, I like to do analogies, and I'll just tell you one story that came to mind when I was explaining this whole concept, is that, you know, you often see in movies with a couple, and there's one who's terminally ill, like there's a spouse that's terminally ill, and then they have this discussion about death and dying, and oh, well, after I depart from this world, I want you to go out there and find someone. And the person who's left behind is like, no, 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 I could never do that. I love you and only you. And there's these stories of like, the person who's dying is like, well, no, because that's ridiculous. I want you to be able to share that love with somebody else. So it's kind of like the spouse whose, you know, husband or wife just died, and they're like, no, I can never marry. I can never date, not until the day I die, because I have this undying love for my departed loved one. And that's completely ridiculous if you think about it, because it's like, it doesn't mean that you love your departed husband or wife any less. It just means that you love yourself and you've still got life to live in this physical realm. So it's a similar concept to that of a twin flame and a twin flame couple that is not in union, or physical union rather. So when you think about it that way, it makes a lot more sense, because in this abstract concept of, well, if your twin flame is alive, right, in this world, then it's this abstract concept of like, well, they're probably coming back to me, so I should hold off. And, you know, if you decide to hold off, that's absolutely your choice. But I will tell you right now that if you're holding off from having that romantic piece out of your life, it's likely that you're creating a lot of resistance. And also you're creating a lot of pressure on your twin flame divine counterpart, because they feel very like pressurized, like a pressure cooker. They feel very pressurized if all of this, for example, all of this sexual energy is only moved toward them. They feel extremely under pressure, because it's like there's nowhere to disperse that energy. Because if they're not ready, they're not ready. But then they feel all this drive and energy sexually toward them, and they don't know what to do with it. It's just a lot of pressure. So I hope this like gave you some time to think. And I know this became more like a twin flame guidance video rather than a vlog, but I don't know, that was just on my mind. It was like really big on my mind this week, because I have always shared with you that I've never been shy to date. There have been periods where I've not dated at all, and I've decided just to do some self-work. There have been other periods during my twin flame journey where I decided to date, and I always did so mindfully. This was always a mindful thing. It was never a thing to just manipulate or control or anything like that. It was always a very mindful process of, I have to check in with me to see where I'm at. I have to check in with me to see if I'm in a good place, because I can't bring forth fear or lack to another person. That is totally unfair. So it's always like checking in with yourself first and going, am I doing this because I have love to give and I want the reciprocity of love and the flow of giving and receiving to be able to actually flow back to me as well from a physical level? And if the answer is yes, if you're feeling good about yourself and you're feeling good about it, then, entertain the idea of dating. So again, I didn't even know this was going to go this far into the rabbit hole of dating in the twin flame connection, but there you go, for what it's worth. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on that bell, scroll up tall for all notifications. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames. And thank you so much for your support on my YouTube channel. You can buy a book or 2 or 3. You can join a boot camp or a meditation course. You can also join my group coaching. The link is below. And I will see you in the next video.